All right, well, welcome to this update on my new project. So, again, if you weren't following along, Factory 5 GTM. This is the kind of the demo car that they have from Factory 5, and I've ordered one. So, it's supposed to be here late April. In the meantime, going to be kind of walking everyone through like thought process and doing something like this. What my plans are for mine, and maybe even get some feedback from everybody out there, see what you guys think. So just kind of real quick, kind of the most important thing to me I think on this car is going to be the engine and how it performs. I've thought about a lot of different potentials for something like this. I've even gone as far as thinking about how the how the different types of motors would work for this. Obviously it's designed around an LS based motor, so your Chevy, LS1, LS2, so on and so forth. I've even considered just briefly doing something like an electric motor setup. They're very costly though, so I'm probably going to avoid that. Either way, that's kind of the thought right this second. Again, something I'd like to do, and I haven't completely committed to anything just yet, but it'd be nice. Right here we have basically just the different options that I've considered thus far. The goal for the engine, 500 horsepower at the wheels, all motor. The supercharged versions of these things don't appear to fit well the way the motor is laid out in the car. So I'm going to do just an NA 500 wheel horsepower, most likely like a 6.2, the LS3 or L92 all aluminum motor as a starting point. I think I want to avoid a turbo car. Before that was kind of the name of the game with my IS300 here. Just want to stay something a little simpler. I do enjoy the all-motor power of the Viper a lot, so I want to kind of stay that way. A little bit more than it, and obviously the car's going to weigh a little bit less too. Roughly 2,500 pounds should be our weight goal for this car when it's done. So these are the different options. I think again LS3, L92, 6.2. cam, springs, retainers, that sort of thing. And then we should be really close to that, obviously a tune, that sort of thing. The other options they have to think about, transmission. So it's designed around the G50 Porsche transmission or a custom transmission from Mendiola. The Mendiola option is on the high side, expensive side of things, and evidently it takes forever to get a hold of one. So won't go that way. The G50, they are kind of hard to find as well. They're used in the older Porsches, and there's only a few versions that are actually good. So I'm going to probably avoid that also, being that I've done a lot of research and found that the G96 and the G97 out of the newer Porsches are going to be our best option. They're available with limited slip differentials. There's 6 speeds. There's a little bit of modification to the chassis necessary to run one. But I think that's still going to be the best option. They have some really good gear ratios, at least the G96 does. The G97, not terrible, but it is a little bit tighter gearing, a little bit less top speed. So the G96 seems to be the way to go. There's a few different versions of the G96, and you're going to have to do a little bit more research to make sure, but it looks like these 0.00, 0.01, those are the more common, easier to get a hold of, less expensive G96s, but they do have a different bell housing than the other ones, the 0.50, 0.88. Those use the same bell housing as the G50 up above. So it may be a little bit more expensive for a different adapter than the G50 series, but I think in the long run that'll be the kind of a better way to go. So that's kind of been my thought process so far. Those two, and then something a little bit more cosmetic, the color scheme in the car. I've considered an homage to the Auburn Sky Pearl of my IS300, but probably going to go something different. I also like blue a lot. As you can see, the motor out of the IS300 was blue, and the Auburn Sky color but in this case, there's actually another GTM here in town in Phoenix. His GTM happens to be blue, and with such a rare car, I probably can avoid the same color somebody else has. So either way, that's kind of a thought process. Looking for, anybody has any suggestions out there. Definitely down to consider pretty much anything at this point. Kind of go from there. I'm trying to stay away from some of the super bright colors because I do think the car, I want it to be kind of sleek and more on the pretty side of things versus just flashy. While we're talking about this stuff, kind of walk you through the garage just a little bit more in depth than last time. So still got a lot of parts from the IS300, as you can see here. Still have the motor. Got some interest in it, but I really haven't even listed it just yet. Do plan on kind of getting after that. I've sold a bunch of parts off it, obviously. The injectors, exhaust manifold, turbo sold. I still have it. It's not paid for completely yet, but I do have down payment on it. Over there I've got some suspension stuff. I've had some people pick up some, so it's nice that that's starting to go away. The shell, I have a friend interested in it. I'll be doing a video for him, kind of walk around to see if he's interested in it after all. Over here I've got a couple different wiring harnesses. Actually not out of this car, they're just some wiring harnesses I got for connectors and things like that. So stuff that's listed for sale, but still have it, obviously. Take a break from the parts real quick. Some of the equipment I have, so that's a kind of a home-built powder coating oven. Pretty much everything on this motor was powder coated in that oven, as well as a ton of other stuff that I've done. Works great for what I need it to do. On top, ultrasonic cleaner, had the AC and heat unit for the garage up there, just a mini split. Super handy, especially when it's 110, 115 degrees in the Phoenix heat here. All my just different boxes of stuff, paint and chemicals and coolant pressure tester, borescope, stuff like that, all in those guys. My workbench, something I made myself, just kind of handy area to do some basic welding, as well as a place to drill and hold everything. Okay, so we're back. Sorry, there was a little issue. My wife came home, opened the garage door, and both the dogs are out here, so had to go put them up, and we're back. So this, I forgot kind of where we left off, but so yeah, oh yeah, workbench. This is just something I built myself to have a place to do a little bit of welding. Have a TIG welder down there, store all my tools, lay stuff. A lot of stuff piles up on this and I end up cleaning it a lot, but you get the idea. Some shelves here. I hopefully will have these pretty empty before too long. Some of the remainder of my IS300 and JZ parts are here. Differential, some axles, drive shaft. The water to air intercooler was going to be gone, or going to be on the IS300, but not going to use it on the new car. Obviously it's going to be naturally aspirated. 67, 66, that's sold. And over here, compressors. Gonna think about this compressor situation. Works fine for what I'm doing right now, but I do plan on doing some painting, or primarily all the painting on this car. So I have to do something with that. You can see the Cobalt one there had some issues, had to take it apart because it gets hot. Anyways, something needs to be done. Over here, our GS450, it's a hybrid. I had planned a pretty neat project for the drivetrain out of this, was planning on putting in something lightweight. It won't work with the new car, so the whole car is going away. It was my wife's daily driver. She got rear-ended by a semi. They totaled the car. We bought it back with the intention of that, and at this point it's just going to go away. Damage isn't even that bad, but again, that's what they decided to do. Over here, of course, the Viper. It's been rainy today. It's uncommon for Phoenix area, but If that stops, I'm planning on washing this thing up, cleaning her up, getting it outside, taking some pictures, and listing it hopefully this weekend. So if anybody's interested, there she is. The red wheels, they're just Plasti Dip. They're actually white underneath, but Dodge Viper 96 RT10. Fun car, just not what I'm wanting to go with for the future. So either way, that's kind of what we got going on here. Set of super wheels there still for sale. And yeah, see the dogs hanging out with me. Rocket's trying to chew up his bed. He likes to chew on that stuff still. And then over here, my plotter where I cut some vinyl stickers and things like that, sell them on eBay, that sort of deal. Again, any questions or comments, if you have any feedback, like suggestions on any of this, the engine stuff, transmission stuff, or colors, I'm kind of open to some different things like that. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like the video, share it to your friends. There will be a whole lot more coming, hopefully soon. Almost got enough of this stuff out of the way to start ordering parts for the new project.